Okay, I'm going to be doing a beginner level lesson. The context is going to the restaurant, and the purpose is the students are going to be learning and using 7 common question words: who, what, when, where, why, which, and how. And then I'm going to be doing a role playing activity after I go over the question words, and then I'll do a follow up activity after that. Okay, so today we're going to be learning about questions. Okay, so what kind of question were that? So every question has to start with a word, that is specific for the question that you're asking. Okay, do you know any question words?
Who, what, when?
Very good. Okay, so if you just look at this first worksheet right here, I have listed out the words that we're going to be going over today. Okay, so these words usually go in front of a sentence. Of course, they could stand alone, but they go in front of another clause that you're going to be talking about. So let's first go over all of the question words. Okay, so on the sheet it says what the question words ask, okay? So I'm just going to say the word, and I want you to say out loud what it means, okay?
Okay.
So, who?
Asks about the subject.
What?
Normally asks about things.
When?
Asks about time.
Where?
Asks about place.
Why?
Asks about reason.
How?
Asks in what way.
Which?
Asks about choice.
And are there any of those words that you have a little trouble with or don't completely understand?
No.
Okay, so with these words, you can make numerous different types of sentences, okay, or different types of questions. Okay, so for example, with what, you can ask someone, what is your major? And then you can be like, why did you choose that major with using why? How old are you? Okay, where are you from? These are basic questions that just use those words, okay? Okay, so now we're going to be doing a role-playing activity using what we know and what we have previously learned with our restaurant vocabulary that we learned last class, okay? So I'm going to give you a scenario, and then you're going to follow along, and you're going to be answering these questions, or you're going to be asking questions based on what I tell you, okay? Do you understand? Okay. So this is the scenario. You and your friend Carla want to try a new restaurant for the first time. You and Carla have no idea what kind of food there is, so you are in for a surprise, okay? So on this worksheet, there is also a menu. At the appropriate time during the activity, I'm going to be asking you to choose a couple of things from the menu, and you'll know when, okay?
Will there be food?
Sadly, no. In the fridge. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and begin, okay? Do you have any questions?
No.
Okay. So you and Carla are meeting up before you go eat. You want to know the name of the restaurant you're going to. So what would you ask Carla?
Carla, what is the name of the restaurant?
Very good. So Carla says it's called Steve's Grill. You're in the car, ready to go. Now you need to know the directions on how to get there. So you ask,
Carla, how do we get there?
After many missed turns, you and Carla finally get to the restaurant. You see there's a line of people, and you want to know if there's a waiting list. So what would you ask the hostess?
What is the wait time?
Okay.
Or how long is the wait?
Yeah. The hostess said there would be a 5-minute wait. After y'all wait, you are finally seated. The waiter comes and asks, what would you like to drink today? You really wanted red wine, but you don't see it on the menu. So you ask the waiter,
what's on the wine list? Or what are the choices?
Okay, so the waiter shows you on your menu where the drinks are. After the drinks are ordered and brought to the table, the waiter asks if you are ready to order. You're ready, but are wondering what several items on the menu taste like. So you ask, and this is where you can pick a couple of things that you are wondering what they taste like.
Okay. I would ask, which is better with the lamb chops, red wine or white wine?
Okay. So you're now stuck between two items. Okay. So pick two items on the list on your menu, and what would you ask the waiter if you would like to know what they taste like or what is better?
Which one is better, the mineral water or the coffee?
Okay. So the waiter takes your order. 10 minutes later, your food is ready and delivered to your table by another person. You're wondering what happened to your waiter. So what would you ask?
What happened to the waiter? What happened to my waiter?
Yeah. How happened? Not how happened to your waiter, okay? You would use what, and of course the obvious of who asks who, or of what question word asks who, and that would be who, you know? Okay, so he replies, he is a busboy helping the waiter. After eating, you are ready for dessert. So you flag down your waiter and ask,
what's on the dessert menu?
yes. He hands you the menu again, and you order what would you like for dessert?
Strawberry cheesecake.
All right. So after eating, you wonder if Carla liked the food. So you ask her,
how did you like the food?
Mm-hmm. She says that she hated it. So what would you ask her?
Carla, why do you hate it?
Exactly. So, do you feel comfortable using these question words and knowing how to use them and what context to use them?
Yes. Yeah. There's just so many choices.
Well, that's how it is. There's no one specific choice unless you're really asking about a place. You wouldn't ask, like, who is a place? You know? Mm-hmm. So a place and a person, there's that distinguishing who and where, okay? So now I want you to look at your second worksheet. And you're going to see several answers to several questions, okay? So I want you to come up with the appropriate questions for the answers. And you're going to be using your menu on some of them. And, yeah, so we can do the first one together, okay? So, do you want to read number 1 out loud?
Number 1 says, it comes with 6 chicken wings.
So what would be the question you would ask?
How many wings are in an order of chicken wings?
Exactly. Okay, so are you ready to do your individual work?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay.